Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into this video. My name is Jada Brown Thompson and I am a real estate agent and investor in Baltimore City, Maryland. So if you need a real estate agent, make sure to give me a call, email, or text, and I'll be more than happy to help you. I'm also a property manager. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to obtain a rental license in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. So I'm speaking directly to investors in this video. Now, there are two different types of rental licenses in the city of Baltimore. The first is a short-term rental license, and this is where you're renting your home or a portion of your home, whether that's the basement, another room, and that's when you're renting it for a period of less than 90 nights. Now, one thing that you have to be aware of, in order to get a short-term rental license in the city at this moment, it does have to be your owner-occupied home, right? So it has to be your principal residence. You can't buy a house and then say, oh, I'm going to put it on Airbnb, let me get my rental license. No, it has to be your primary residence. It has to be deeded in your name, so not a business name, not an LLC. It has to be in your name, and it has to be free of any code violations. So you don't have to get an inspection done because this is your principal residence. You just go directly on the Department of Housing and Community Development's website and you register for a short-term license. Now, for the long-term license, let me give you the steps. The first thing you're going to do is call the Department of the Environment. Their number is 410-537-3000, and you're going to call and get the tracking number, right? So the tracking number is how they track the lead inspection that you have to get in order to get the license. Once you get the tracking number, in order to get the tracking number, you have to give them the name of who owns the property, whether that's an individual or a business. You have to give them your name, phone number, email, and the address. You get the tracking number. Once you get the tracking number, then you go and you call a lead inspector. Now, there are tons of lead inspectors out there. You can go on the Maryland Department of the Environment to look up different inspectors that are licensed in the state of Maryland. If you decide to work with me, I have a host of different lead inspectors that I work with, and I can refer them to you. Just comment down below if you need that information. But you're going to go and get that lead inspection done. Now, the price for the lead inspection of the inspector that I work with primarily, he charges $100 inspection fee. That's for him to travel to your property, and then he charges $16 per sample, and one sample is needed per room because that is the state requirement. You're going to give him the same information that you gave to the Maryland Department of the Environment, who the property belongs to, your name, your email, and your tracking number. He is then going to go to your property and take a sample of each room, and he takes a sample of the windowsill, he takes a sample of the floor, the sample of the wall, and he then takes that to a laboratory to get tested for lead. Now, I was told most properties that you see that have new windows, a lot of the times they do not have lead in them, but still, you have to get that lead inspection done, and it takes about 5 days for the laboratory to compute those results, get it back to the lead inspector, and then hopefully you will get an certificate that says this property is free of lead. Now, there has been a time when the lead inspector got an abnormal result and he had to come out and retest. So he didn't send the results into the lab. He just retested, and then turns out it was fine. And then another time I had to get a window replaced. But I have never had the experience of having lead in the property, so I cannot advise you on that. But there are things that sometimes have to be done, getting a new window, cleaning, it was too much dust, etc. So once your lead inspection is completed, you'll get your lead certificate that you then have to submit to the Maryland Department of the Environment. They took your email when you called them before to get the tracking number, and that will generate an auto email with your password and your login information to log in and then submit to them online your lead inspection results, and the cost of that is $30. So let's recap what we've done so far. We've called the Maryland Department of the Environment and we've been issued our tracking number. We received the email from the Maryland Department of the Environment with our auto-generated email and password to submit the lead inspection to, and we've completed the lead inspection. We've corrected anything that needed to be corrected in order to pass, and we now have our certificate that the property is lead free. Once that's done, we've submitted the certificate to the Department of the Environment and we paid our $30. You can also send via mail the results as well, but it's faster to do it online. And then the next thing that you have to do is you have to get a rental inspection done. So when you get the rental inspection, same thing, most of the time, those who are home inspectors are also certified to do these rental inspections. You can look online or you could comment down below and I will give you the name of the rental inspectors that I use. There's a whole group of them under this one business, and the cost of that is $150. So once you pay for the rental, I always pay cash. Like I meet them at the property or I leave the cash somewhere like where only they would know that it is, and I give them the lockbox number. And when they come out to do the rental inspection, they're making sure that this property is livable, right? They are making sure that all the major systems work, the AC works, the heat works, the plumbing works, and that if you rent this property out, someone can live there comfortably without any dangerous items, right? So they're going to go through the list, and I will put the list somewhere on the screen, and they're going to say pass or fail, right? If the property fails for any reason, that inspector is going to give you a list of the items that need to be corrected in order for you to get a pass. And then he will just say, hey, I'll come out and visit the property when the work is done, or hey, send you a picture when this is done. So for the properties that I personally own, I've always passed, but for other properties that I've either helped investors acquire or I'm the property manager for, there have been situations when the property has failed. For example, one property that I just did that failed, it needed the basement flue to be reconnected. It needed smoke detectors, a carbon monoxide, and they needed to turn the water down on the hot water heater. And so the inspector texts me, hey, this is the list of things that need to be done. And then I had to go and get a contractor and a plumber to fix these issues. And so when the issues were addressed and they were fixed, I took the pictures, sent it back to the rental inspector, and he sent me the certificate the next day with everything passed, right? So once you get that certificate with everything passed and it's signed by them, the next thing you have to do is you have to go and license the property. So you're going to go on the Department of Community and Housing Development for the City of Baltimore. And there you will see the link for property licensing. You will then submit a new application and apply online, right? You're going to put in who owns the property. You're going to put in if the property has gotten the inspection done. You're going to upload the certificate that the property has passed. And then you're going to put in if there is a property manager or a resident agent. Now, If for some reason you just bought the property, and when you put in the address for the property and the previous owner comes up, then you will have to submit the settlement statement saying that, okay, I'm the new owner, and then it goes under an ownership review. Now, in the city of Baltimore, sometimes you have to pick up the phone and call people, because when it's under ownership review, they just have to go in and manually. So I would just give them a call and say, hey, I want to get my property licensed. It's a different owner. It's under ownership review. Can you take a look at this? And usually within the same day, they'll go ahead and approve it. If you've owned the property for a while and you're just now getting it licensed, like for instance, it was your primary residence and now you're moving and now it's a rental, then most of the time your name should automatically come up as you are the person that owns the property. You submit it and then you automatically get your rental license, which is valid for 2 years, and the cost is $30. Now, I have had situations where the property can't be approved because there's an open code violation. And if that happens, you have to correct that code violation. And the same thing, call the city, tell them, hey, can somebody come out and certify that this is all good? Once they do that, then you should be free to pay and get your rental license. So I know that was a lot of information in a few minutes, but hopefully that was helpful for you. If so, please make sure to comment, subscribe, like the video. And if you know anybody who is going through this, send them the video. And if you need a realtor or trusted advisor, a property manager in the city of Baltimore, make sure to give me a call, text, or email. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video.